receiving as the BBC are as follows. One, they are not accessible. Now, I know that we've held several workshops as the BBC where we've invited the DFIs to come through and present, and there's a common application form that has now been developed. We'd like you as members to also use those forms, take advantage of the fact that there is now a common platform to apply. When they phone to find out where, understand how far is the application. If there is a document short, but submit a document that is short. So we want to say to our colleagues in the DFIs, answer your phones. Please answer the phone that we are paying for as citizens of this country. Number two, the lead times are too long. So we are requesting that let's shorten the processes. You see, when SMMEs apply, the opportunity cost is there. The SMME can't wait for 6 months for approval of the funding because the opportunity will be long lost. There will be another SMME that will come in and take advantage of that opportunity. So we are saying, colleagues, let's work together to make the timelines a bit shorter. Lastly, let's make sure that all our DFIs have got a provision for equity funding. It's very important. We've heard the situation of our youth who are unemployed. I agree they're unemployed. Where must they take it from? So they're unemployed. When the youth come, let us make sure that the equity funding is readily available for them. Ringa kamoka dating. Oh, this is not a secret. Habana yona. Commercial banks. We need our commercial banks to be more patriotic. They must be more patriotic. The citizens of this country are empowered through access to finance. So we need our commercial banks to be more patriotic. Because if they don't support us, and then we have all these social ills that we have to deal with, it is their very business that will be in danger. So we need them to be a bit more patriotic. We need them to take a risk on our country. They are not doing business in the US. They are not doing business in Europe. They are doing business in South Africa. We want them to take the risk here with us. If you want to see how our banks operate, look at the COVID funding that was approved by government. Out of the 500 billion rands that some of you are claiming government is 200 billion rands of that was given as a guarantee to commercial banks to fund us. They only advanced 10% of that. And if you want to know who it went to, you will be shocked. Because it all went to our white counterparts. That 10%, that drop in the ocean, the bulk of it went to our white counterparts. Because when you approach the bank and you said to the bank, my government said you must help me, they ask you, are you financially sustainable? How can you be financially sustainable coming out of COVID? You can't be. But that's how our banks operate. Number two, after that one, there was a 15 billion rands that was announced by the Minister of Finance. It was called the Bounce Back Scheme, version 1. Rebizi now version 2, litla ebona ha itswa. Leona ka rena la mathatanyana. Ha re sheba ka dihlo, e ka re we are going to have problems. But version number 1 was 15 billion. None of that, no one of you here got it. I'm sure. But it was there. But our commercial banks did not give us an opportunity to have access to that money, which our government said on lend to SMMEs that are black owned. So this is the type of banks that we're dealing with here. So let us not be fooled. Now, lastly, President, we need to go to the banks via the Financial Services Sector Charter Council and ask them the money that they committed in terms of that charter, when is it coming to you? Because the targets that are set there, the banks have committed to funding black businesses. We need to hold them accountable on that front. Access to markets. We heard a little bit about the Black Industrialist Program earlier. That program is a program that now we need to make sure that you benefit from that program. And the Lunal Patriotic membership fees until benefit. We need money to pay salaries. So you can't expect us to be lobbying the programs di ba teng, and you expect all of that to come for free. No, nothing is for free. This institution must be funded by yourselves. Membership ha e tle bo mme le bo ntate. Re tla fitlha. Access to markets and non-financial support. On the public procurement bill. And I want to urge to our treasury colleagues who are here from the Office of the Chief Public Procurement Officer. Been decades of triple business people must be in that. So that when you go to to invest in a factory, be able to supply you, that must be possible. Today when you go to Transnet, Prasa, anywhere, they say so that you, in the end, have access to markets. Import substitution is another important one, which again, we need to work collaboratively with government to make sure that Kimadi manufacturing, Aloko China or no, please manufacturing some manufacturing. Set up factories and manufacture here on the back of off-takes from our government. Why must our off-takes support? And of course, I admit that initially we will not be cheap, but over time, with investment in technology, efficiencies, we will be cost competitive. Nobody can tell us that. Emamu, as I end, people are fronting. Bayat Ronkong. Thank you very much, colleagues.
We need to enjoy a good hike, and he also. And next, I've got Ms. Zama Kanyile. We're done with.